Welcome back, noble heroes. We rejoin the characters as the Outrunner goes to pick up the many meek on the mysterious island out in the middle of the ocean.
Not that they know about them.
Not that we know about him yet.
Not that you know about them at all. And you have learned much, and you have yet to decide the fate of the 3 pirates who survived your encounter.
There's 5.
5.
5 pirates.
Do we kill 2 of them in the interrogation?
I mean, if needs must.
All right. And you said there was going to be a vote.
Roland from underneath that. Thank you.
You want to hang out here with us?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You said there was going to be a vote.
Yeah, I misspoke in terms of the timing because I realized I didn't know how long it would take to actually get back to have the full crew to decide.
They don't need to know that. Make them
That's fair.
Stew in their own, well.
She would have just not mentioned the timeline. She just would have mentioned that there will be a vote.
It is about 9 p.m. Nobody on the boat has dark vision.
I mean, there's a fire.
Yeah, but they're sailing. Oh, Isaac, you have dark vision. I lied.
He's sailing.
Yeah, so, Isaac, you are maintaining the ship's course.
Where's the dragon?
He would be flying next to the ship.
He's got dark vision.
He does have dark
And
vision.
he's in the sky.
He has blind sight, in fact. I believe all dragons have blind sight.
Sorry.
So, did you want to wait until Jennifer and Zarafen were back in order to determine the fate of the prisoners?
Or do you want to wait till we get back to Bridge?
I wanted to wait until we got back to Bridge. That's why I misspoke in
Okay.
terms of the timing. Because
Like-
the crew has the right to decide as an entire crew what to do with the pirates that wronged us.
That's how I interpreted it.
As you all throw down the gangplank on the island, Jennifer, Zarafen, Hero, and 2 meek. One, a big one, that the gangplank weighs underneath.
I would like to just ask, there's no dock. Why wouldn't we just take the boats back?
You would. So, you all, when you get there, Zarafen is going to help lift the 2 light meek up onto the deck. And you all have a time getting is big.
You can't climb up the ladder? I would assume they definitely have boarding ladders.
A ladder would
For
definitely
pirates.
be thick enough, but it would be able to hold enough weight for him to get up.
Right.
He's like almost 300 pounds.
Oh, that's definitely still able to get up the ladder on that.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
he's thick.
Although,
Yeah.
as a meek, that's absurd.
He's
Sweet.
but all right. The meek, is big and looks like a rabbit, are going to.
Could we go backwards just a smidge? I wanted to have that conversation with Zarafen.
Yes, I forgot about that.
So while we're on the shore, I assume that the 3 meek are probably talking or something, and then June and Zarafen would just step off to the side.
Okay.
A little.
Sure.
She would switch to probably Supernal to
Okay.
talk to him. She goes, before you got into the Shadow Realm, Dan both read my mind.
What did you learn?
He knows I run the Godmothers now. Millions of years keeping that one out. And now it's there. He won't keep it quiet. You know he won't. It would hurt me too much for it to come out.
What if you step down?
She raises an eyebrow at him.
You might create a separation between yourself and the organization.
It wouldn't matter.
He's going to come after you regardless. He was already going to.
He'll come after the godmothers anyway.
If you
Simply-
step down, you won't be going near any godmother places.
It won't matter. The affiliation is enough.
I'm trying to consider how he would harm the organization. I'm not sure he can.
It's not what he can physically do. It's simply releasing the information of who I am. It would be a blow to the godmothers, knowing that the council isn't exactly a council.
Lie to them. Tell him he's lying. Why would they believe him?
I intended to, but I don't particularly like straight up lying to my friends.
We do what we have to.
I know. However, I think it might be wise to tell the group. She looks like she does not want to do it.
You'll open up access to your ports.
Yes. I can see many benefits and many downsides to doing so. I've finally gotten to a place where I think Euphemia might not entirely.
You're worried about
Despise
Euphemia?
me.
I was worried about Isaac.
Getting around to the rest of the group, I was starting with one.
Sure with Euphemia, though? She doesn't seem like she would be troubled.
She's the one who would be the most troubled. Have you not noticed that girl's absolute disdain for any sort of person who has any sort of authority?
She has
Or-
authority.
I never said she wasn't a hypocrite.
Totally fair. It's fair. It's true.
Don't go through her. Go through Dom. He seems to be able to deliver information in a way that she accepts. Or make the announcement as a group.
I intended to do that, but even doing so, she's still going to have problems. However, I did technically just save her ship, so I suppose that would help. Not the reason I did it, but added benefit.
I think you're over-worrying about Euphemia.
June actually blushes when she realizes that he's right, and she actually gave a crap. Perhaps you're right.
I'd be more concerned with Prongor.
Why would I care what Prongor thinks?
Because he's going to try to sell it.
He wouldn't do it against Isaac's wishes.
Those seem to change constantly.
She actually quirks her head and she goes, surprisingly, I actually trust Isaac a little bit more than I trust a few others.
Like you.
Well, Prongo for definite, but... Well,
Okay, let's
Euphemia.
all agree that Prongor is last on the trust list.
Clearly. The only redeeming quality of that creature is the fact that he actually seems to love Isaac.
I'm not sure creature is appropriate. That's quite rude.
She just lifts an eyebrow.
That creature. Oh my
Hey, just saying, June is a snob.
I mean, he's just a human. Like,
Exactly.
those disgusting humans. What about Western?
I had no intention of telling her. She's not crew.
All right. Seem to be arbitrarily deciding what crew means. She is on the ship right now.
She's not part of the prophecy.
So just the questers.
Yes. Although Euphomia's crew is tangentially connected.
I agree.
Can't believe I let him in my mind.
I'm not sure let in would be the appropriate terminology.
June does not look like she agrees, but lets it go. I noticed something strange, though.
What?
When you were using your radiant energy, the light of heaven, I could almost see Danblith's face.
He has a face.
Never seen it before, though.
It's true.
Even with the usage of light.
But do you think you would recognize him?
Of course not, but
Then what does it matter to see his face?
it's different.
Certainly it doesn't humanize him.
No. I don't know. I think I'm just disturbed that he was actually involved with Satan.
That is reasonable.
He's never done that, to our knowledge.
But Satan has. He's just being more careful about it this time.
Satan hasn't moved openly in years.
We don't know that. We
That
haven't
we
seen
don't.
Danblith in years.
Yes, but he never would have done it in front of us.
Maybe he didn't know we were there.
She's-
Danblith seemed desperate.
Danblith, perhaps, but Satan.
I cannot imagine that Satan was aware of everything that was happening around Danblith at the time of the summoning. That's not how summons work.
I suppose you're right.
I do gain the sense that Danblith and Talgras were not on the best of terms.
Oh, I definitely gleaned that as well.
Danblith left him, and then used his own magic to aid himself and crippled Talgras. If they had been better teammates, they might have been more devastated.
I think we really hurt Danblith this time. He wouldn't have fled like that otherwise.
I don't think you're wrong. Or he made a calculation that if we had gained the upper hand at that moment, he didn't have anywhere else to go. He couldn't go into the ground, because he was already in the Shadow Realm. I think he'll run at the first opportunity when he's in a bad situation.
I agree, he's a coward. He's a strategical coward. Fine, I get it. Don't make me say nice things about him.
I certainly won't.
How are you? She's looking at the place where he was bitten. And his wings.
I don't think I should go into the Shadow Realm for a while.
Do you need more light?
I'll need to return soon. I think I can get you all back to Bigfall.
How long will you be gone?
A week. I'll come back down on Bridgewalk and I'll find you.
She looked over at Hero and smiled at that point, and she was looking at the three of them. She just looks back and nods.
Are you ready?
Yeah. We were boarding the ship.
But all that's holy, it's rolling Tarkan, it is.
I would have probably still been napping unless there's a ruckus. Unless there's a ruckus that
All right.
I believe that the meek were coming back on board.
Ruined my day. Okay.
Sorry.
Hey, they'll go down and be really surprised when they go to sleeping quarters and there's Roland.
All right. Who is on deck then? When the meek arrive?
Yuffie and Bali, certainly.
Isaac. Western.
I would assume the Kinku Knights are still on as well as Cleveland.
Yeah. The
Yuffie
Kenku
would
Knights
still
are
have
helping
hold of
to
me.
sail the ship.
Mhm.
And Triss is also helping to sail the ship. When they come on, you see, looks like a rabbit and is big, and the two of them stumble awkwardly over thanks and meek introductions.
June would have probably warned them so they wouldn't be frightened by the group of who was there.
Okay.
She specifically describes Roland so that they're not overawed, and also would probably be happy. And then very much that one.
All right, you describe Isaac.
She does say that it is technically a pirate ship, but they're friends.
We're nice pirates.
Yes. Well, I mean, they just had really bad experience with pirates.
That is
so
fair.
I thought I'd warn them that they are technically pirates, but they're good pirates.
I'm getting inspiration.
Thank you.
You
did that badly.
Do you have inspiration?
I had my old one, but no.
Okay. They come on, and neither of them want to see Roland. They're afraid. But is big says, "Captain, I wants to help. I can sit on something."
She looks him over.
I can sit on something. I love it.
I'm sure we could find a use for you on the ship. And we can always use help.
He nods.
She looks at Bolly with this kind of weird look on her face, like, what do I do with him?
It is weird to be overshadowed by a meek. He's about probably 3 feet taller than you are.
Weird.
So is he like a 6 foot me?
Super weird.
He's like near 7 foot.
Jesus.
That's crazy.
Weird. How tall is Pajak?
Jack's
13?
like 10, 11 feet tall.
Just checking.
Looks like a rabbit is going to clearly be exhausted, and Hero's going to kind of lead her over to a box for her to sit on. And she's going to sort of curl up into a little ball and lay on the box. And then the ship takes off.
Where's Shadow?
She is downstairs in the cot area resting with Roland.
I'm gonna go seek her out.
Okay.
And she asks if she could have a word with her in private.
You wake her?
Yes.
She is fine with that.
Okay.
What do you say?
We get away from sleeping Roland.
Okay.
Go to a place where we're all nice and solo.
Yeah.
Shadow, I would ask that you keep what you saw in the Shadow Realm to yourself, please. Among other things, what I looked like, yes. Also, the fact that I moved on my own. She saw it.
She goes,
For you, it's normal. For others, it's not. I would ask.
she nods. She goes,
My movements? Why could I do it?
you gain the sense that Shadow just realized that you did.
She just kind of blinks and she goes, well,
Oops.
honestly, even if she didn't say it, if she just happened to mention it to somebody who could understand it, like Cleve, like just as a side note, that could be bad. So she goes, because I've studied the darkness greatly. I have connections to it. Yes, I have. Is she asking if I read?
That seems to be either that or what did you study?
She goes, I'm very old, Shadow. I've lived a very long time. I've had a lot of experiences. I've never spoken to another like you, no. Have I seen adult shadow dragons in the shadow?
You don't remember?
I can't remember. Sarah can't.
Tower of Monsters.
Okay, she goes, yes, I have seen others. How many? One. How big was it? It was a
It
big
was an
old.
ancient.
It was an ancient. Suffice it to say, I didn't fight it, but I did see it, and I ran away from it. It was a very long time ago. I would truly like to learn your language. Will you help me to learn it? That way we can converse more fluently. She smiles. Thank you for keeping this to yourself.
She's going to turn around.
Okay.
All right. It is a 3-day journey back to Bridgewalk. What do you do? And do you take a long rest?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exhausted. Basically
Roll.
collapse.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna roll a chaos.
Did we eliminate any chaos? Or do we not have any chaos?
We have one.
You had 1 chaos. I'm trying to think.
You okay?
So you would have lost 1 chaos. So you're at 0. 1 I roll. Okay. You guys did not gain a chaos.
Yay!
Smoke that dragon, yeah.
I know.
Smoke that dragon.
Roland, Ferric is going to speak calmly with the crew, but he does give you a vague history of Talgrass. It is quite an impressive and long list of terrorist actions and murders. And wars that he has fought in.
Very important thing that I need to state happens as soon as June gets back on the ship.
Mhm.
She reminds everybody
To not speak around the boxes. The
You mean the
ones in
people
your...
who don't know?
No, she reminds everybody in the
Okay.
ship to not speak around the
In the captain's
Yes.
quarters.
Sorry, it just had to be stated because I know if I didn't state it, something bad would happen. Continue.
Actually, very soon after you get back onto the ship, you are contacted by Annalise and told that they have managed to dismantle the stone in Bridgewalk. The Holy Patrol had apparently gained access to it that night, found it on the Beast Bazaar Island. A symboled stone, it had like symbols carved on it, and they were puzzling out this complicated network series of clues that basically a rhyme had suggested was like a trap. But Annalise realized that none of the clues actually made any sense and were meant to lead in logic circles, so eventually just reached out and broke it, and it worked.
Good job, Alice.
It was clearly like Pitt was using his like intelligence as a threat that there would surely be a trap, but he probably ran out of time or something and just like wrote a bunch of garbage, and then like everybody took it as a trap. I spent so long making up that puzzle. Anyway,
I love that.
the what was I speaking about? Oh, the puzzle. So the stone is gone.
Okay, good. I still think it's a good idea to not do it around them until I find a proper way to block that from ever happening again.
Fair.
Because screw that guy. Seriously.
Okay. Annalise also reports through another sending the next morning that the Holy Patrol has discovered that fishermen are bringing up valuables that have been identified as items from the bank of Bridgewalk from the ocean.
Dump it in the ocean?
That sounds like something to do.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he gives a crap about that sort of stuff.
No, that's fair.
Big Joker energy from it.
Just a little bit.
And the Dread Guard are about to make, like, efforts to fly up and down the beach line and see if, like, some, like, fishermen huts have been, like, keeping the gold that washes up on shore. So, do you wind up doing anything with his big?
So we don't have anything that needs to be patched or repaired, right?
Triss is easily making them.
Yeah.
As a note, Isaac, all of your constructs, obviously except for Phalor, are here on the ship.
X,
And they're all in
you
good
could do some of the
repair.
deck work.
if they want to.
She'd offer it as like general deck work and maintenance work and stuff.
Okay, yeah, he can sling around like a mop.
Yep. It helps.
Cleeby's going to take up his crow's nest position. Roland, what are you up to?
I mean,
How's your leg?
I'm fine now.
Okay, you did fix it?
Zarafen
Okay,
fixed it
I couldn't
completely.
remember if it fixed completely.
No, he did his little...
Zarafen has really pulled his weight in terms of fixing this group. We've had to get fixed a lot.
Yeah, it sucks he's gonna be gone soon.
Yeah.
I know, sorry. I mean, he's probably just chilling, going back to normal routine stuff.
Okay.
But he is a little traumatized by the situation, I would say.
Euphemia might go talk to Isaac briefly.
Alright. You, Isaac, where are you staying now that you're not in the brig?
So I think he would have gathered all his belongings and just kind of put them in a pile and put a blanket over it, probably. And if he's not in the brig, and he doesn't really need to sleep, he would probably just stay above deck, continuing to, like, watch the ship as they sailed through the night.
When you go beyond the normal man's capacity to not sleep, your eyes become red. Zarafen is going to note... Isaac is reading as undead to me. Just happened.
June looks over at Isaac. You think he's okay?
If I just switched on just now, he says.
Well, let's go make sure he's not going to eat anybody. What? Valid concern.
It is a valid concern. It's just funny.
June will walk over to you. Isaac?
June? How are you?
You see that he has red eyes.
She's just looking at you. You can see she's a little hesitant as she does, and she's eyeing you vaguely suspiciously.
Isaac kind of, like, looks about his person and then rubs his face and says, Is there something wrong with me?
That's what I'm asking. How are you feeling? That's an unfortunate freeze moment.
I was going to say, whatever you said, go ahead and say again, because you cut out for a second.
She said, "How are you feeling?"
Tired, but still very much myself.
No strange desires to do anything?
He'll narrow his eyes at you and say, Tell me what you're seeing.
Well,
Zarafen
You're-
is going to step forward. Your reading is undead, Isaac.
Isaac will flip out the Sin Stone and see if it's activated at all.
You're not attuned to it. You draw out the Medal of Heroes accidentally.
Ah, yes, I forgot about this. He tucks it away again.
What's that? Zarafen asks.
Out out of game, Zarafan's the one who gave it to me. isn't
Right,
Yep.
right.
Isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Zarafan, it's the medal. Remember?
June raises an
The one
eyebrow.
you gave me.
I didn't give you a medal, Isaac. Why would I give you a medal?
He pulls it back out and is kind of looking at it in his hand and says, Zarafan, do you remember going to the vineyard with me?
Zarafen never made it to the vineyard with you.
I apologized in the throne room.
I thought you were just trying to cover for yourself or something. I didn't know what was going on, but
Wait,
Wait,
I was
what?
at Targle's vineyard?
I went to the vineyard that day and had a lengthy conversation with you, Zarafen. Or at least something that looked like you.
You didn't have a conversation with me, Isaac.
He was with me that morning.
There was a doppelganger there.
Or
Well, then it sounds like that's the case.
what did that one say to you? What did they give you?
He'll pull the amulet, off over his head and hand it over to you all.
What is
They
it?
gave me this. He called it the Amulet of Heroes. When I wear it, it makes me look more approachable, I guess.
Zarafen rolls Arcana on it.
Ditto. Ate him.
Okay. Some kind of illusion charm, he says, looking down at it. He's going to, run his finger over it. I can't tell if it's cursed. Are you attuned to this?
I am.
Do you have Identify?
What level is that, please?
1.
I can. Identify.
Okay. You spend a wish point?
I don't need to spend a wish point. I have all level 1
You're
spells.
correct. How long does Identify take to cast?
I don't know. Give me a second to find my level 1 spells.
The truth is finally coming out.
I know, right?
I know, I've been waiting for this
Yep.
to come to a head for so long.
Okay, Identify seems to be missing.
Do you want me to pull it up?
Please.
I've got it here.
Somebody pull it up. I don't have access to a phone.
It's a ritual spell, so if you take 10 minutes, you get it for free.
It's just a level 1 spell.
All right.
I found it.
Casting time is a minute.
Yeah, I'll just cast it. I'm not concerned.
You pull out a 100 gold pearl and touch it to the item. You learn that it is... You learn its properties and how to use them. You wear the amulet and attune to it, and it mixes up memories of heroic and noble figures in the memories of people who have not ever seen the bearer before, and confuses them with heroic figures, making the person famous, or at least have a modicum of fame, and probably good tidings, and that's all it does.
Nothing bad?
No
It's not
curses?
cursed?
It's not cursed. She tells you exactly what she learned. Did they give you anything else? Or did they say anything else?
So it really is just a harmless trinket. Now that you mention it, they did also give me this, and he's going to pull out a piece of Guardian technology.
June's eyes
He's
will
gonna
widen.
pull out the eye and show it to you all.
It's a guardian eye, Zarafen says, looking at you.
Yes, it is. Not touching it, she uses telekinesis to pull it and look at it.
As you go to grab it with telekinesis, the eye is going to look immediately at you.
Is it active? She looks disturbed.
Zarafen takes a step, he's going to, pull out his, sword halfway.
What did it do when you got it?
Isaac, you see it respond in a unusual way, where the eye focuses directly on Juniper and does not move the moment that she tries to take it.
June, wait. Let me take it back.
She didn't take it after that.
Isaac will walk up to where you're holding it and kind of grab it out of midair, and then point it back at himself.
What did it
see
do?
what it does.
The eye follows Juniper. You're going to see several little rings begin to sort of like form like a target. You're going to hear static in your ears only, Isaac.
June, this thing is making sound. I don't like the look of this.
Sounds. I don't hear anything.
Alright. What are you hearing?
I'm hearing it.
What is...
It sounds like white noise.
Do you know what white noise sounds like out of pure curiosity?
Yeah, I don't know if this noise of static would be a thing that Isaac would know.
You can make the sound.
He's trying to equate it to the sound of like the background noise of just being in a crowded place, I guess.
Okay.
Can't you
It's
make...
a sound that's just like drowning.
Can you make sounds with,
Thaumaturgy?
Yeah, thaumaturgy.
Let me check.
Okay.
I think you can make the tolling of a...
Yeah, I can.
Oh, it can? I thought it could make like a bell or something.
No, it can make, like, some sort of, like... What's the actual wording?
You create an instantaneous sound that originates from a point of your choice within range, such as a rumble of thunder, the cry of a raven, or
Okay.
ominous whispers.
Sure. Yeah,
That's
you can
actually
make static
perfect.
with
She
that.
goes, can you use thaumaturgy to show us what you hear?
Gain inspiration.
Okay, he does that.
It's alive.
I don't think so. I think it's responding to you.
She moves. Does it follow me?
The eye follows.
What did it do when you got it? Did it do this?
When he handed it to me, the eye was largely inert. The pupil would sometimes crawl to the edge and then back to the center, but it didn't seem aware of anything.
What else did you do with it? Zarafen asks.
Nothing. I've examined it now and then, but nothing's changed. I've just kept it on my person.
It appears to be reacting in some way to Juniper.
Take it in the other room. See what happens.
Isaac will rush off with it to the lower deck and see what it does.
When you're about 15 feet away from Juniper, the eye is going to lose the white rings on the inside of its pupil and slowly start to lazily course back to the center. It's like it can't see her anymore.
Lost focus.
She waits for you to return. Do you come back?
Yeah, I come back carrying it, and I see if it does it again.
It does not do it when you enter a nearby area of Juniper. It's like it lost her.
It seems to have lost track of you. I'm worried those concentric circles made me think it was about to, I don't know, cast some sort of spell.
Or attack me, yes. Or track me.
I don't think it's capable of attacking.
I think it's more along the lines of tracking.
That noise you heard.
Have you ever heard it before?
Have I heard it in my dreams, Daniel?
No, guardians usually speak like words. This noise was like nothing you've ever heard. Maybe it's because it doesn't have a mouth?
Okay, he tells you that.
They speak?
No, he tells you he's never heard that sound before.
Okay, you don't say about the speaking bit. Okay. Well, actually, wait, you've told me about your dreams before.
That's true.
She goes, Isaac, does this have anything... Does this remind you of those dreams you told me of?
Zarafen's eyes narrow.
Only vaguely. I'm beginning to wonder if I can interface with this engine in my heart, if I could maybe somehow connect to this eye and see what it's trying to say.
I'm not entirely certain that's a great idea.
Meaning?
However,
Zarafen is going to lean in and in supernal whisper, What if it reacted to the wish?
That was my thought as well.
These things were born to hunt your kind.
I know.
At this point, I'm more concerned with who that was at the vineyard that day. They didn't seem to have that much ill intent, but we still don't know who they are.
I'm willing to bet it was probably Pitt. What all did he say?
Don't you think he would have taken the chance to kill me when he could? Then and there.
What did he say?
Exactly. What did he say?
Do you remember what he said?
As a player, it's been a month, so I remember vaguely. I'm sure Isaac would have a better memory of it than I do.
He spoke... Initially, it would be a little strange that he basically said, I'll trade answers to your questions for you answering my questions. He also additionally stated that he was rare that he find somebody who he could feel akin to.
Right, yeah.
That he indeed felt a strange kinship with you when you said that you were struggling to do things more heroically.
I remember all that.
He handed you the amulet, which, since your brain is now attempting to connect the two events, you may realize that Pitt's fate makes him automatically reviled by people, and an amulet like this would be completely useless to him.
That's true.
Additionally, he had vaguely stated that he had come down here from elsewhere. You assumed that was heaven, but it's also a colloquial of just like, I came down to this place. Yeah. And then he stated that he had studied the Guardian tech for a long time and seemed to know a lot about it. And that he had not been able to interface with the eye, but thought maybe you could, and that would provide a reason why he came to you. If he thought that you could somehow interact with the Guardian technology that he had carried around for a long time.
I'm sorry. Your facial expressions are fantastic during this.
No, it's great. Roland, you come up on deck.
What's going
It's the
on?
next day. You're well rested. You see Jennifer, Zarafen, and Isaac sort of murmuringly talking by the bow, and Isaac has a weird disc out.
So this is the day after the meeks came on?
The meat came on in the middle of the night,
Okay.
so it was like early afternoon next day.
Are the meek in sight or anything, or any of them downstairs?
Yeah, you see a big, like, sort of a stout, like icy blue meek. Oh no, he's like an ocean deep blue, with like white stripes, and then like a little golden one who's standing and sort of murmuring next to Bali.
He's gonna walk over to the gang, rubbing his eyes. Where are the new kids?
You're gonna see like the disc has like an eye in it.
What's that?
June has a grim face on when she says it. She says, it's a guardian's eye.
Where did it come from?
She looks at you, Isaac.
Isaac's kind of holding it and looking at it, and he says,
What is Isaac's expression with the fact that it was Pitt who probably was the one who gave it to him?
I really want to know how awkward this is for you to, like, they don't want to reveal that it was Pitt, and then, like, you have to reveal if you want to say it, like, truthfully.
So Isaac's face is like stone cold stoicism, but that kind where you can look and just tell that the person's pissed off and they're trying to hide it.
You are?
And he's
Also,
Yeah.
his eyes are red.
and he's looking at the disc and he just says, I think Pitt gave it to me.
When?
I went to go meet Zarafen at the vineyard back in Bridgewalk, and it turns out it wasn't Zarafen at all.
His face like drops.
Fooled.
Oh man, you gotta get rid of that.
How did he get you to come out to the vineyard?
I'm sure he found out that that's what you guys were gonna do.
How would he possibly know?
Who else down here at this time? Who else in this conversation?
So they're at the front of the ship, standing like the wind is blowing, so it's not like you have to be like within 10 or 12 feet. to hear
June
them.
gets a horrified look on her face. She goes, I know how he found out.
How?
June actually turns to the railing and punches it really hard.
Zarafen looks like what is happening? Like he's never seen June get that angry before.
Like, June is legit pissed off, and it's actually, like, her magic is sort of leaking slightly, and it's kind of scary looking.
I think at
Roland,
this
you're
point
gonna
you
see the
would-
eye zoom in on her and little white lines form inside of it.
Get that thing away
Get
from
it
me.
together. It's happening again.
Yuffie would approach at this point. What is going on?
This is like a Three Stooges.
I know, right?
Yeah, like, June is, like, furious right now, and she's trying really hard to control herself. Like, it's a rare occurrence for her, and she's not liking it.
Isaac, what's in your hand?
Get that thing away from me.
Yeah, you should probably throw that in the ocean.
Isaac's gonna turn to Roland and say, Roland, take this and shove it beneath the pile of stuff I have beneath deck.
Isaac, please roll a perception check.
Out game, is Guardian technology a live technology? Would it be considered something living?
You don't.
17.
You see something strange as you pull the eye up to like hand it, like hold it in front of you to like gesture towards it. You're gonna see like red flash through the eye, which draws your attention. But like by the time you've looked down, the red is gone. Do you try to recreate that event?
He withdraws it, like he's not handing it to you anymore, Roland, and he suddenly starts walking away very quickly. And he's going to try and recreate it as he's getting away from the group.
Okay, you guys are gonna watch as he like takes a couple steps back and like puts the eye up in front of his face. As it flows in front, you can't see anything through the iris, but the moment that the eye goes over Juniper, you see her outlined in this radiant red energy. And these, like, lines are, like, coursing off of her form.
June is watching you, upset, and
you cannot see anything in the eye at all.
Well, he's pointing at her right now. And June, in a very violent voice that actually ripples out as sound waves, says, "Get it away from me!"
He picks up the pace and he goes below deck.
What is that?
Roland's gonna come after you.
Zarafen tries to comfort Juniper.
June is
The
breathing
meeks are
hard
like,
right
they're
now,
like
trying to get
wide-eyed
angry.
staring at Juniper. Roland, you follow Isaac downstairs. Isaac, where do you take the eye?
Out of habit, he's just going to walk into the brig, forgetting that there's prisoners in there, and he's going to shut the door behind him.
You hear, like, scraping on metal, and you turn around and see, like, the prisoners. Like, one of them has his shoe, and he's, like, hitting the bars with it.
It's really smelly.
So he just locked himself in the brig, right?
He shut the door behind him. I don't think he's locked it yet.
But the door would have been locked, wouldn't it?
No. There's actually cages in the brig.
Oh, gotcha.
Yuffie was kind enough not
Yeah,
to put
so-
him in one of those.
Isaac glances at them briefly, but then like back down at the eye immediately, and he's trying to see if it's starting to deactivate or not.
It did.
Okay.
Roland, you see that?
Yeah.
Are you going to try to, like, enter the brig after him?
I open the door, but I stand in the doorway. Man, you should probably ditch that thing.
I'm beginning to think the same thing. I'm curious to see what June has to say about this first.
Up on the deck again. Jennifer, what are you doing?
Breathing right now. She's attempting to control herself, and she's actually vibrating slightly as she pulls in her magic.
Yuki's gonna look at Zarafen. What happened? Are we under threat?
I don't think so. It appears as though Isaac has brought some foreign items by accident with him onto the ship. But I don't think any of them are explicitly dangerous at the moment.
Unless it's connected.
I think it's very clearly not. I can see that it's making sound. It's at a frequency that's too high for us to hear. But the sound isn't making it very far. Maybe a couple feet, most. I don't think it's strong enough to make any kind of signal.
She just nods.
Although I do think you scared the hell out of Isaac.
My apologies. She
The
actually...
pits.
She looks around at the group and she realizes that she freaked out like everybody on board, and she goes, "My apologies. It's not often that I am startled to that degree."
Is anyone going to tell me what you were startled about, or do I need to go pry it out of Isaac and Roland? If I do, just tell me.
She actually... she does chuckle. That seems to have calmed her down slightly.
Excuse me, Miss Goldmother. Would me dancing help?
No, but thank you for the thought.
They say I'm a pretty good dancer.
I'm sure you're fantastic, but be that as it may, I'm fine. Thank you. She actually looks at the two meek that are not hero. She goes, "Would you go give us a moment, please?"
You're gonna see Rabbit is like, okay, yeah. And she like rushes downstairs. Back down in the hold. Roland, you have suggested that maybe you get rid of it. Isaac said, probably a good idea. Are you guys sticking down here in the cage area?
At this point, Isaac has animated one of his constructs. It's the repaired mining automaton.
The one with the head or without the head?
Without the head.
Okay. So, horn guy. Got
He
it.
has... Actually, no, the hammer one, not the horn.
Alright, Hammer Boy.
He has pulled off the front plate and kind of fit the eye inside of there and then put it back.
It's
And he
too
has
big for that,
the
actually.
robot.
Kind of... It is?
Yeah.
I guess you said it's like the size of a dinner plate, right?
Yeah, like a big old boy dinner plate.
Okay.
It's probably like almost 2 feet wide.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really?
Does it look like an eye?
Yeah.
Like a pupil and everything? Like it looks like a...
It's like several layers of water that are different colors. And like they're vaguely like, there's like vague layers between them. There's 3, the center ball, the little like white iris kind of thing, and then like a bluish layer, and then like a totally like kind of a muddy black layer on the edge. And then there's like little things swimming inside of it.
Okay, so in that case, he shoves it like underneath his pile of stuff, and then he has the construct kind of like sitting with it, making sure no one goes near it.
Okay. As you're messing around with it, you are going to see vague bluish, they look like little vines or roots, very tiny little things through the eye. But the eye is facing the floor.
are we right now?
You're up on the deck.
Yeah, no, I'm at the ship.
Oh, over the middle of the ocean.
We're not near the deep part, are we?
I mean, it's deep here.
No,
Sure.
I mean the deep part.
No.
Okay. Just checking. Just checking.
Anyway, Roland, you're behind him as he tries to, figure out where to put it. Do you say anything?
He just kind of shakes his head and is like, man, I hope you know what you're doing. And he walks away.
Actually, I think Isaac is going to stay with it until someone comes down to talk to him. He doesn't want to let it out of his sight.
What are you doing with it then? You see the blue things, are you doing anything with that, or are you just, dropping it?
He'll keep examining it until, he sees someone come down to talk to him.
Okay. Through the eye, you're going to see they look like little tiny brambles of blue-greenish light off. It almost looks like you're looking into the shadow realm. That's the descriptor. You're not actually looking into the shadow realm. But you're seeing something through the eye which you previously did not see. And you are facing the floor of the ship. As you look around with it like you're using a very upside-down periscope, you're going to see that these little blue things, whatever they are seemingly everywhere. And if the distance is any measure, they're somewhere near the sea floor.
So I only see them when I'm looking down?
Yes.
Towards the ocean floor? Okay.
Are you looking anywhere else besides down?
I have a question about where something could look.
I don't know, does June want to come make a suggestion?
Well, my question is, out of game, did he ever point it at himself, at his chest?
He can't look through the eye at himself.
I mean, he can do that. Oh, it's gotta be
It'd have to be like this.
upside. Okay.
He did try and, attune with it back when he first got it, and nothing came of that.
It's not a magic item. You can't attune with it.
Well, I say attune, but I mean, interface with it in some way, just like he is with the anti-life engine.
You looked through it, but you didn't see anything. If that was Pit, you didn't see anything.
Do you tell us that it's seeing other things now? You said you don't come up.
So if you're doing that, do you go back and talk to Isaac, or are you just venting?
She's getting herself under control for a moment, and then she says, "Is Isaac? Oh, do you come back up?
Yeah.
Is Isaac coming back?"
I don't know. He's swimming around looking at the ground.
Shadow is going to fly out of the ocean with fish.
Is this something that's going to blow up my ship? Because in that case, I might want to get it off.
I don't know. I don't think so. However, I certainly don't trust it, considering its source.
I think we should think of it something like a dragon's eye. It's got inherent magic or something, but it's not by itself dangerous without the claws and the teeth attached to it.
Is it alive?
I think there's some
in so much as that.
more like an instinctual movement. That's my belief anyway. Guardian tech has always been somewhat of a mystery, and there's not much a way to take it apart.
Is it technology, or is it part of a creature?
She's waffling at when he says that.
It's some mixture of both. It has biological elements. The structure of it is obviously drawn from biology, but it is made out of metal. Sometimes there are fluids left in some of their corpses. There are clearly structures, something like a brain, but made out of wire. They have holes in them from fights with the wool dragons long ago, or themselves. Burns from light, fire, storm weathering from acid. There was some battle that they were in, long before the mists were gone.
Oh. Can we go see it?
I don't think it would react to you,
I doubt it will harm you.
although I wouldn't try to steal anything from it.
Oh.
I
By all
wasn't
means,
planning on
don't.
sticking my hand inside
Yeah.
of it.
June gets really serious when she looks at you. Please do not try that.
I wasn't planning to steal anything from it.
She just kind of looks at you like.
And then she gives you a look like, I'm not that stupid. Oh, she is.
Yeah, she just kind of is trying to be polite, but her normal poise was a little shaken.
Yuffie looks at her a minute. That's fair. And then she strides off to go down to Isaac.
Let me know if it's doing anything, please.
Will do.
We have 5 minutes. So, if you're going to take action, let's do so.
Oh, there was something I need. Well, actually, she would have done it before this anyway. No, she wouldn't have. Go ahead.
You head down. Isaac, you hear the footsteps of a halfling come down the stairs.
Yuffie opens the door. So, I hear you brought a weird eye on board.
Are you keeping the eye in the brig?
You're just having this conversation with pirates in the room? Just saying.
Perhaps we should move
So-
this conversation.
Isaac is in the brig because that's where all of his stuff is right now. And as you walk down, he says, Captain. And he'll kind of hand the eye backwards like this, and a golem takes it from him.
And like stuffs
Okay,
it
good.
into the pile of tools.
Are you explicitly not looking up with the eye?
He's been keeping it face down this whole time, and the golem does the same.
Alright. Continue.
She looks over at the pirate.
Where would you like to talk?
We can talk in the... What was it? Wherever we all sleep. I'm blinking.
The sleeping quarter.
Yeah. Let's move this over to the sleeping quarters, away from other ears.
Lead the way.
What do you all discuss?
Yuffie asks him how he got it. Nobody's told her yet.
I'm sure you remember that when we were still in Bridgewalk, I had a date of sorts with Zarafen. He offered to take me to a vineyard and talk.
She'll say, nope, actually, with everything going on, that completely slipped my mind.
I don't think it was ever mentioned to anybody anyway.
I went, had a nice conversation with him, but it turned out to be a doppelganger. And whoever this doppelganger was gave me that eye. And this necklace he pulls out. The necklace has already been analyzed by June, and she says it's harmless, but we're not so sure about the eye.
No, I'm not entirely certain it's harmless.
Jennifer,
Go ahead, it's okay.
this will be your last chance.
Can you bring out the eye? I just want to try something.
He looks at you and says, sure. The golem will pull it back out from the pile of knickknacks and hand it to you.
No, she doesn't want to touch it. She just wants to try to see the heart on it and see if it works as a creature that is technically living.
Roll an insight check.
Okay.
Can
In
it
that case, the
be
golem's just
aid?
holding it for you.
Can I have advantage? Yeah.
Please don't suck her in and kill her.
17.
Before you do anything, Isaac's going to say, you aren't going to be reaching into this, are you?
She's gonna say, why does everyone keep asking me that?
As you look,
Because we know you by now.
Curious not to try something like that.
as you look, you are going to. You're going to see forming in your vision 3 traits. And just as you do, you feel a steel wall block them from your sight.
Did she get any indication at all of what they were?
No, in fact, this has never happened before. Either you get them or you don't. But it was almost like fate itself put a hand in front of your eyes to block you from seeing them.
Yuffie's gonna step back a little bit, almost like falling back. Something about it's alive, but I can't make out what's inside of it. It's like there was a wall.
And on that note, we must end.
Sorry.
Thank you very much, Noble Heroes. We really appreciate it. And do remember to give us a like and subscribe. We really hope that you enjoyed this session, and do try this at home.